everyone, Misty and Anthony here with Taste Winchester History Food and Beer Tours, and we are at the German table today with owner Nathalie. Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for
Master
being here
Chef
with us.
Nathalie.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so we wanted to come to your place because, first of all, you have amazing food, but you're also on our food tour and our beer tour.
Yes.
And I think you are the only restaurant that is on both.
Yes.
Currently.
I guess.
So that's awesome. Yeah. So how did the German table get started?
Well, I always had a love for cooking. That's always been my thing. I always liked to cook. I had a hard time coming to the United States because I wasn't, a lot of things weren't available to me. But then after like 10 years and perfecting my cooking, learning from my grandmother and my mother, I was like, okay, now is the time to do it. I also have to say that I had health problems, so I couldn't really stand for a very long time.
Definitely need to.
So, after having taken that, taken care of that too, I was able to start the German table. I was a business owner before. The landlord of the restaurant and the store was the same, and I said, if this place ever becomes available, I want to do it. And so that was my way into finally get my restaurant and do the things I really want to do and really like to do.
So basically opened, you're like, well, this is it.
That's
Have
it.
to do it.
That's it. I'm healthy. I'm good. I'm prepared. I'm going to do this.
We were really excited because Misty and I kicked off in September, and we knew the sign was out there, and we just couldn't wait until you opened. So they opened in October, just 1 month after we started. And I was beating down Nathalie's door the first few weeks, saying, hey, you got to be on the tour, you got to be on the tour. This is really exciting because, each of our places is unique and has different, you're not tasting the same thing each one of our stops. And to have this authentic German cuisine was just a huge feather in our cap, and we have Nathalie to thank for it.
Yeah, and that is the biggest thing. Every time we come in with a tour group, there are always people in here, and at least half of them are German, and they're like, this is the bomb. It's the bread that I know from home. It's the schnitzel. It's everything. So it's very authentic, and people are loving that.
It is. It's really, when my children work for me, that's what they tell the people. They say that's what my mom cooks at home, and that's really what it is. So they come here for lunch or even dinner after school and eating my schnitzel and my potato salad or whatnot, because that's what they're used to.
It's wonderful.
So, people compliment, tell my daughter, well, you're lucky to have a mom that cooks like that, or,
We all take it for granted, right?
Right.
Well, because, it's just something, when I came to the United States, I couldn't really adopt to the food, so my cooking always stayed European. I couldn't get a lot of the things. Well, that was in the very beginning,
so you get your brats from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Where else do you source?
From New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Some of the things I get just here from Skank. I think they're a wonderful company.
They are, yeah.
So I like working with them. And everything else is just your own recipe. You just put it together. The things that I have to make my recipes I can find here. The sausage is Wisconsin because it's really hard to find anybody around here.
Right.
And again, it's just Wisconsin. There's so many German immigrants over there. There's so many, and that was just the best place to go. I mean, it's shipped in within 2 days. It's great, and I'm very happy with the quality of what I'm getting. So yeah, that was a big thing to find sausages. And then again, a lot of things come from New Jersey. It's a big, like a German distributor where I can get, for the winter, the Stollen, the cookies. Now for Easter, I can get, like bunnies and stuff from there. So all the sweets and all the exclusive things that come from Germany, I will get through that company.
Okay. So if someone hasn't tried German food, what should they come and try first to kind of introduce them to German food?
Well, I think that a lot of people that hear about German food will definitely know about just a broth, having a regular broth on a brötchen with some mustard, very basic. I think the schnitzel, because it's just a pork loin and it's tenderized and breaded and fried. And then the Jäger sauce, which makes it like a Jäger schnitzel, and I think that's a very, very popular thing in Germany, and I think people should definitely try that. Spätzle, people love the Spätzle, very traditional pasta in Germany, really like an egg noodle. And the potato salad, I think, that's also something that people know the potato salad. So again, the thing is that my potato salad is cold. I have people asking about a warm potato salad. And again, it's about the regions, I mean, there is about 400 different sausages in Germany, and I cannot bring them all in.
Sure.
So I'm going to try to keep it on the basic where I know, okay, you will know the brat, you will know, the schnitzel. So that's
Right.
But I have people that are German and come in here and say, well, I've never eaten it like that, or I have never, and I always have to tell them, well, it depends on the region.
Germany's pretty large.
It is pretty large, and everybody has a different way. I mean, you
Right.
can go to Bavaria and you will not get a broad on the Brötchen. That is just not possible.
Right.
They will get you a Weisswurst and they boil it. They don't even, so it really, really varies from state to state. So I try to put things on my menu that I think everybody will just know and recognize and say, oh yeah, Bratwurst, Germany, oh Schnitzel, so that people will connect with when we talk German food.
Yeah. I think we need to do a vocabulary lesson. There's all these words. I'm like, yeah.
It's like,
Right,
gotcha.
I know that.
Yeah, I'll have that too, right? Next time.
Well, we had our inaugural beer tour yesterday, and this was one of the stops. So one of the things that we were talking just before we went online today here, one of the things that you get from Germany is a selection of beers that you will be able to try on the beer tour. So why don't you tell us what you have on tap here?
Well, I do have 3 beers on tap right now. I do have the Paulaner Doppelbock, a little bit darker, has kind of like caramelized, caramel flavors in it, but very subtle. I have
Big hit yesterday, by the
big
way.
hit,
They like
yeah.
that
People love the Doppelbock, absolutely. Bitburger Pilsner, I'm the only one that has Bitburger Pilsner on tap. I don't think anybody else has that. It's just a Pilsner. It's has a like a bitter aftertaste. It's just sits on your tongue for a little bit, but nice and refreshing, crisp, definitely. And then the other one is a Paulaner also, and it's a Hefeweizen. So it's a wheat beer, kind of light, really refreshing.
Yeah.
I mean, pairs really well with most of the German food. Let's say that.
Right.
Hefeweizen, because it's so mild, it really goes with all kind of German food, versus a Doppelbock or a Pilsner is very. The Pilsner is great with like a broad and like hot mustard or something like that. It just that works there. Doppelbock again is a big hit. People love that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have. It's really like over the board. I think people like all three beers.
Mm-hmm.
There's none where I can say, oh, this I sell more. This is it's really all People come in and they have a Hefeweizen. The next one has a Pilsner. The next one will have a It really.
And yesterday we had all three.
Yeah.
And a couple of our guests are hardcore home brewers, so we were under the gun there a little bit. And interesting, you had talked about the Pilsner, and the one gentleman said that he's generally not a fan of Pilsners, but the Pilsner that he tried here, the German Pilsner, was fantastic. He really, really liked it. So we walked out of here with a lot of smiling faces yesterday.
Yeah, and it was a nice contrast to the local craft brewers.
Yeah.
To try both.
Absolutely.
So it was really nice. Yeah.
Because that's what's upcoming, there's a lot of breweries and to stand your ground. That's why I have my German beer.
Well,
So
I can compete like a little bit, and yeah.
I know I wanted to look into the camera and tell my friend Torsten, who is everything German, is great guy. If he hasn't yet been down here, you have to get down here for the beer and the food, and you'll feel like you're back home again as well, because everybody here says the same thing.
Yeah. And I have to also say that I do specials like on weekends. Once in a while I will throw in for Valentine's Day I had like the rouladen, which is like a piece of meat with bacon, with ground beef inside, rolled up with pickles. So really
She had me at the dessert when we did the Valentine's tour on the specialty dessert tour on Saturday. Tell me what it was again that
it's a chocolate souffle.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah. Very rich.
Heat it up a little bit. We heat it up
everyone
a little bit.
We had one guy that he was like, it was just way too sweet. Everyone else was like, no,
Yeah, I mean, I saw
It might
the
have
cups were empty.
A lot of people were putting them in bags and
Right.
stuff, so they didn't even care how it ended up
Right.
when they got home. They were just going
They
to
were
eat it,
taking it
scoop
with
it right
them.
out of the bag.
One
Oh.
of the comments that I got immediately when you opened from other people that had come and even
Yeah.
business owners, they're like, I don't get the paper towel and paper plate thing. So what is the history and background?
All right. The idea for the German table, for the German restaurant, was to be an Imbiss. Imbiss is a German word for snack.
There's our education. There's our
It's like on
dictionary
my
work there.
vocabulary. Go.
So that's the thing. This is a snack place, just where you come in, you grab your broad and you walk out and you eat it on the street. This is supposed to be street food too.
Gotcha.
Okay. The Imbiss in Germany normally does not have seating, so people don't sit down. The difference is that I make it to where people can sit
Yeah.
down and
Right.
eat it here, but they might as well just take
They can take it.
their broad or whatever
Right.
they have and eat it on the street, because in Germany they would have the tables outside, so
Right.
you're actually standing outside and you're eating in the cold or whatever it is, and everything in the Imbiss is served on a paper plate or on a styrofoam plate, and you get a tiny little plastic fork. There's not even a real fork. It's actually this big and has two little teeth on the bottom. It's almost like a little,
Like a spork almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly.
You got a couple little serrated edge on the end.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. So you eat your currywurst in one of those paper containers with exactly the way I make it, but you have that tiny little fork, and then you eat that stuff and you throw your paper whatever container out, and
Right.
you're done. Right. So desserts. The idea for the dessert was to have European desserts. I searched the web like up and down and found an Italian company that would also make strudel, and it would make apple pies and pear pies that are on a phyllo dough with some marzipan. You heat them up, they're just wonderful. So I ended up going with that Italian company because their desserts are what's the closest to Europe, and they're not too sweet. So it's a very big and known company that started in Italy in 1945, and is pretty much all over the world. They're in Amsterdam, they're in London, they're in New York, they're everywhere. So I was very fortunate to find that company and be able to work with them. And so that's. I also do my own apple pie, my cherry pie, my blueberry pie, which is very traditional, very simple, not the covered ones that you have in the United
Right.
States, and all of my pies I make them with phyllo dough, so I like it, to keep it, and the fruit, so that you actually get the taste of the fruit and other, whatever crust you have on or under there. So, but main desserts are from an Italian company, and I'm very, very happy to have them, because there's really nothing around here where you can, I have people that come in, to be honest with you. I had one couple that came in here, and they walked all the mall, the whole mall, and said to me, we looked at every dessert, but yours is the best, so we're going to come in here. And she was like,
fantastic.
yeah, they had coffee and dessert at 8:30 at night. They were so happy, and she left me a wonderful review saying, this is really what we
great.
needed, just a place where you can, after you have a heavy dinner and you don't want to settle for like cheesecake or
Right.
a brownie, let's have something from the German table.
lighter.
And
Light and fresh.
they were
Yeah.
so tickled, because that just made their night,
Yeah.
So
You're
that's.
filling a gap. That's
Yeah.
really, really nice.
And I'm trying to push, in Germany, what's very popular is that people, have breakfast, then they have, a good lunch,
Yeah,
then they go
bigger
for a
lunch,
walk,
and then-
they go for a walk and it's cold and they're all bundled up and whatnot, and then they go to a pastry shop where they have
Right.
a coffee and they have dessert. And that's what I'm trying to push in Winchester, where people can, have a good lunch, but then at 3 o'clock say, hey, let's go have a good coffee with Nathalie and a
Yeah.
good dessert. You don't have to have anything else. You can just sit here, enjoy the atmosphere, and have that wonderful. I'm actually doing Italian coffee, so I have Lavazza, which is a really, really good coffee.
Yes, I'm
Trying to
familiar
work,
with
trying to work with Illy. So I'm going to have to
Mm-hmm.
sit down with those guys too. But that's the idea. I want people to know that they can come here and just have dessert and coffee. There is nothing, better to do when it's cold, or when,
Yeah.
you enjoy your walk. and
I've
you
been
can just
trying to
sit
get
down.
him to do the larger meal, because
Yeah.
I love when I visit my friends in Germany
Yeah.
and France. then dinner is just very light.
Dinner is normally
dessert,
light, yes.
yeah.
I mean, we have no problem just having coffee at night with like bread and cold cuts.
Yeah.
That's a typical,
Dinner.
just like eggs. I mean, we do eggs at night. We do like an omelet.
Yeah, that's
Right.
That's
Omelets.
one.
Yeah,
I do
we'll
that
do that.
occasionally.
We
yeah.
don't see that's a very normal thing for us.
Yeah.
Here it seems to just be part of the breakfast.
Breakfast. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for us it's not. I mean, it's a really we eat, but we eat light at night.
Yeah.
Make our lunch kind of like heavy, because I think it's also a much healthier way. You're supposed to
Yeah.
not eat as heavy at night. You're not supposed to like have a humongous meal. But you know, that's every culture is different. But I definitely, like I said, I push the idea of coming in, having coffee, and having dessert. There's nothing better than that.
Yeah, it's
Especially after
definitely a great
midnight.
spot.
Shouldn't be eating anyway.
Oh.
That's why I made the face. I'm
Yeah.
guilty of eating way too.
Well, right now I just have Facebook, unfortunately. So if you look up German Table Winchester, you will find me there.
What are your hours? When are you open?
What are my hours? I'm open every day except for Monday. So I'm open from 11:30 to 2, and I do an European break from 3 to 5
that
to just
nap?
recover, you
Yes.
know, maybe re-prep, whatever
Yeah.
I need to do. And then open from 5 to 8, and that's from Tuesday to Thursday. On Fridays, I do 11:30 to 2, and I do 5 to 9, so I'm extending 1 hour. Again, winter hours, so that will all change. And then on Saturday, I'm open all day from 11:30 all the way to 9, so there's no closing there. And then Sunday is 12 to 4 right now. But again, we'll have a patio that will come out. It's going to add like 4 more tables for us, and I think people will like that. Then the hours will definitely change, where I can stay open longer and maybe offer just some pretzels. You know, no more food, but maybe just pretzel with a beer to sit out on the patio. You know, to keep
Yeah,
it
that works for me.
like something very,
We're there.
you know, something very, very simple. So you don't have to have a big meal, but you can still enjoy the beer
Yes,
and
just
have a little
enjoy the
snack or
weather
something to go with.
and-
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
You'll also
So-
find the German table all over our website at tastewinchesterhistory.com, and we'll get this when we get this video uploaded. We'll have all the contact information for their Facebook page, their phone number, their business card, whatever we can throw on there to get you down here. We're going to put it up.
Yeah, so please come in and see Nathalie at the German table, and she's always here, which is awesome. What I love, our owners are here. You're cooking, you're serving, you're
Engaging with the
I
tour
try to
group,
come out,
yeah,
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
really
it's
great. Unless
really,
you're
really
overwhelmed.
nice.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Well, she'll pop out and wave.
Yep.
You know,
Exactly.
she
I
is.
try to come out and talk to the people and see what they like and if they enjoyed their meal, and I expect honesty. Like, you know, I have no problem with taking a bad critique, and if I can change something on the spot, I will. You know, it's not if you don't like your meal, I'll give you your money back. I mean, I'm open to criticism. I'm open to like nice things too. You know, not just
Yeah, of course. Be nice.
We need to
nice.
leave a review. We haven't left a review on
Exactly.
Facebook. We'll do that.
But I think that yes, I try to engage as much as I can. I want the people to feel comfortable, to feel like they can come here and just have a good time without, you know, no pressure.
Yeah, and if you haven't
it's
eaten
nice.
German food, ask her questions. She'll
Yeah,
tell you,
yeah.
what it is, how it's made,
Exactly.
or what you should try. You know,
I'll
we'll talk
actually
a little
sit
bit
down with you, have a
Yeah.
glass
Yeah.
of wine, and tell you exactly how I'm doing it.
In no
combine-
uncertain terms
I,
sometimes.
yeah. I try to combine the pleasure with work. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And of course,
It's
if you
wonderful.
come on the food tour or beer tour, we'll stop here
Yeah.
and try some amazing food. And if you see this giant mug here, it's about the size of Anthony's head.
I don't think anything's that big.
It's almost the size of Anthony's head. I think we have about 18 left. If you book a beer tour, you will get a mug. So come and do the tour with us and try German beer plus
Absolutely.
local craft beer. And anything else?
I just want to say thank you, Nathalie,
Yes.
for being a partner on the tour and for hosting us for Tasting Tuesday.
Thank
and
you.
We'll see you when we're walking around the Walk-A-Mall every
Absolutely.
week.
It was a pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Very happy to be part of this.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.